How would sessions go down for something like that compared to if you're sitting in as a session guy on someone else's session? When you're a band, would you guys go in and do your basic tracks as a band?
Sometimes. Sometimes. And there was a lot of rehearsal.
Yeah.
Which is fine with me.
Yeah.
You know, rehearse everything and get the ideas down and then begin to disassemble it and then put it back together. And I look at photos that people have taken of us, you know, in the first sessions. Everyone's kind of lounging around and we're all playing like this. It wasn't loose, but it wasn't uptight and it wasn't super, super disciplined. But everybody was laser focused, for sure. That guitar, by the way, I just finished routing the body out for that guitar in the parking lot at Valley Sound where I was working repairing guitars.
Was that a Tele or Strat?
Strat.
Strat.
It was a maple Strat that I'd made, hard rock maple. So it weighed 1 million tons. And I had put the electronics from a guitar that Eddie Cochran had owned into that guitar and then blew the sawdust off and took it down to the session.
On the Midnight Special, there's a version of you guys playing, Steely Dan playing, and you're playing a solo on it, but you're playing a Tele, I want to say. But the Tele had different kind of pickups on it.
Right.
What were those pickups?
Well, that Telecaster, one of my favorite sports was to go down to Corona and go dumpster diving at the Fender factory. Because they were always throwing stuff away.
Yeah.
And I knew those guys there, they didn't care. You know, so I'm in the dumpster, and I found that body, but it was this terrible brown color. So I used some finish remover on it. A little too much because the laminated broke, so the guitar broke in half. So I re-glued it back together, never ended up finishing it. And then I was making Skunk-O-Sonic pickups for friends of mine.
Okay.
Winding them on my mom's sewing machine.
Okay.
And, you know, people who wanted something special. Those pickups in that guitar were Skunk-O-Sonic pickups. They sounded much different than most. They were both humbucker and single coil.
Yeah.
You could go back and forth.
Yeah.
Had a nice tone to it.
Great tone.
And it was a long process to make them. So I made a few for friends. That was it. But yeah, that's what that was.
I remember when I first saw that years and years ago, I was like, what pickups are those? Of course you made them.
Well,
how would you decide when they were mixing it, like how far to go? It's like, oh, let's keep that lick at the bottom.
Everybody's thinking about the radio and.
But when you're going like do those the jumps with the chords and things like that, nobody really did that. That was really your style. But yet you play many different styles of solos. But in this particular song,
well, to me again, it was like da 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 da. And when I think I got the inspiration because most of the horn parts in the song are syncopated.
Yes.
They're antithetical to the kind of very straight ahead flow and feel of the song. So I think that's what inspired me to say, okay, I want to continue that. I want to use that format for the solos because we've already laid it out, so it's not completely alien. And I could go down that road.
And then on the Midnight Special, when you guys played that, anybody can go and see that it's on YouTube. It's amazing. That was one of the very few times that you guys would do live shows on TV, right?
On TV, yeah.
Yeah. People just didn't do a lot of live playing on TV when they were actually playing.
Well, there weren't formats for it either. There was,
right.
You know, rock concert and Midnight Special and in concert and.
It was a difficult thing to actually have people perform live on stage and record it with video and actually get the band playing live.
Well, yes and no. I mean, I remember the Tammy shows when I was a kid and seeing that stuff, all black and white. You know, I remember the Jan and Dean and James Brown. And all that. It wasn't an unknown format, or it wasn't like breaking new ground. But the idea of staging a concert as a TV series, you're right. And Bert Sugarman, by the way, what a wonderful human being that guy was. Because there were a lot of times when I was playing in the house band at the Midnight Special, which was 7 in the morning, and all the solo artists and all the charts, and most of the charts, if there were female singers, had been altered so much I mean, he might as well just be, diving into a soup full of lentils. But so we worked and worked and worked and worked. Then the live acts would come on at the end of the show, and they'd use the applause from. It was a fabulous production. It was well thought out, and again, Bert did a hell of a job, and he was one of the nicest people I've ever met. I got to give him tremendous credit. Sometimes people, well, we've all had horrible experiences, not with Bert Sugarman, ever.
That was a unique. Like Walter played bass. I remember in the live there. He's playing bass, and then Donald's playing the piano, and he had the two female background singers.
There were David Cassidy's background singers.
Yeah.
Killer singers.
Killer singers.
Woo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was really an amazing band. Like I said, I people should go and check that out.
And high energy.
High energy.
And that's what inspired me, because as we started to do more live shows, Donald wanted me to sing my old school. So I began to get comfortable with it, and as it became more and more energetic, I just thought, one of these days, I want to see what this song really has in terms of energy potential. And so on the solo record, it's pretty thermonuclear.